knot.
Yes, it's probably a knot with part of the trunk to sit on.
Yeah, because that would be sharp around the bottom. But he was wondering if it might be.
The oak forest in the Devessie estate in Abbeyleix. If you go down to the woods today, you might find the makings of a good Viking longship.
What's the run up to the first branch there? You get 22, 23 feet up to that first fork on the left. Yeah. What do you think, James?
You would also get a section of the bell piece there, up there, that goes.
Yeah. You keep on round turning. Yeah. Just get a piece there. Oh, we just get a little under 3 feet. Well, let's look at these big ones over here. There's a couple of large ones.
As Joe Teelan searched for ancient Irish oak, he penned a verse or two. His keen eye scans the lofty tree. He reads it like a book. Stem and stern, post, knees and frame, he sees within its crook. With surgeon hands he feels the bark, so strange and yet so real. His touch will sound the saplings as he senses out the keel.
The outward sign of the bark is healthy.
None of the Viking timber was cut this way. All their ships were built of cleft oak, split with wooden and metal wedges. This is the O'Brien sawmill on the edge of the Devessie estate. The oldest oak tree in Ireland grows here. It's over 500 years old. Its grandchildren fell today were planted when Napoleon was on the high seas. This whole wonderful project began like the acorn beneath the mighty oak. It had small beginnings. At first everyone said no to Joe Teelan, and then like a miracle it all began. The Department of Forestry said they'd give the timber, the ESB said they'd carry it, the Port and Docks Board gave the shift shed, and on came the sponsors and the volunteers. Now it was November 1987 and Paddy Cardle and a shipbuilding team had deadlines to meet, so no time was wasted getting organised. In the best shipwrights tradition and with the finest skills, the oak keel was laid and the guides erected to give shape to the ship around which the strakes would be built. As well as the team of shipbuilders, many people gave help in kind by lending machine tools and equipment and by becoming sponsors in one way or another. As the work progressed, one thing became clear. This was no skiff. This was no canoe. This was the Dublin Longship with an overall length of 23 metres, and it would take over 2,000 metres of timber to build her. The Gotstead was built of oak from stem to stern, but as Paddy Cardle said, you'd have to cut down every forest in Ireland today to get enough oak. So it was decided to use larch for the strakes, the shipwrights' terms for the planks. That's Patsy Whelan. He's the son of the late Patsy Whelan, also a shipwright. The ship's nails or spikes were specially sent over from Norway. The Vikings had earthen nails too, but theirs weren't galvanised, and their roofs were square, not round. Isn't it remarkable that the old Viking method of clinker construction, where each strake overlaps the previous one and is riveted together, continues to be used in boat building today? The most important thing about this Longship project was the handing on of the shipwright's skills. Paddy Carroll's lifetime of knowledge and experience and special shipbuilding crafts were too valuable to be let die. Isn't it wonderful to think that we still have men in Dublin who can build ships with their bare hands? Many youngsters became involved in the project, like Brian Hart, son of the sire, James Hart. Nothing went to waste. Offcuts were given to the old people of the neighbourhood for firewood. Here's another verse from Joe Thielen in the W.B. Yeats fashion. Let's do it for old Dublin lads, let's pitch in every one. We'll build a good old Viking ship, we'll do it just for fun. Get all the old boys with their skill, and the young men with their pride. We'll turn the clock 1,000 years, and sail the oceans wide. We'll take her up to Old Wood Quay, the ancient riverbank mound, to salute our distant forebears for the settlement they found. Well done, Joe. This is the only difference between the construction of an old Viking longship and a modern clinker-built vessel. The frames will be lashed to these wooden cleats, whereas in a modern vessel, the ribs are nailed or bolted in. They're seamen's chests. The Vikings called them booty boxes. So I suppose they had a change of drawers and a change of socks in the Vikings' lunch. I wonder had they the little tea and sugar boxes. You know, the ones with the tea at one end and the sugar at the other end, and the little baby power bottle of milk. The last line of strakes are finally being fitted. Liam O'Brien, the gaffer they call him. He's been lying around the Longship like the way Michelangelo lay around the Sistine Chapel. Oh, the agony and the ecstasy of it all. But you won't find a better painter in Dublin.